Let us now feel the peacefulness and calmness in this room. This room is so peaceful and so calm. We are sitting here completely still and completely relaxed. The body is inhaling and exhaling beautifully without making us tired. Let us use our awareness to become aware and conscious on our natural breath. Just feel, just feel, just feel the in-breath and the out-breath. it is very natural to have thoughts. Let us make friends with them, and then gently we can come back to our present in-breath and out-breath. You may open your eyes slowly and consciously. Thanks a lot, dear friends, for your beautiful silence and beautiful effort in the practice. And now, time for sharing, and time for the discussion. So if you want to share some of your insights and experiences with all of us, please do it. Also, if you want to clarify things or ask some questions, please ask. Sorry?
Could you help spell it or transliterate it? So, the Bollywood into English or, so, what?
Yeah, what is the word? May I know the word? Pali word?
The final word is Buddha.
Sorry. Atta A-T-T-A. Atta Deepa D-I-P-A. B-H-A-V-O. Yeah. Be your own light. Or be your own island.
I ask you, when your students come to you with problems when they meditate,
Yeah.
they're constantly being carried away in thought, or maybe their fears get in the way of calming and focusing, or maybe procrastination. What kind of advice do you give them? What would you tell them to do? Is there a particular kind of way of practicing that you might suggest for a period of time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for asking this practical question. And as you said, yeah, most of meditators, especially beginners, they definitely ask this question. This is one of the most unique questions. And what I can say? Well, what I can say, if you say that your mind is wandering here and there, and many thoughts are passing in your mind, and if you are asking for a solution for this problem, and then what I can say, I can say it's not a problem. Because my mind is same. Thoughts are coming, whether I meditate or not, thoughts are coming, and the mind thinks about this and that. So actually, no difference between beginners and advanced people or whomever. The only difference is between you and me is I don't think it's a problem. Because I was looking for solutions to this problem. I have met many meditation teachers, in local teachers and international teachers, and I wanted to solve this problem. I wanted to stop my mind and destroy all the thoughts. And I thought that is the only way to be a meditator. If thoughts are there, then no meditation. If meditation is happening, then no thoughts should not be there. So that was my picture about the practice. And I got many techniques, many meditation methods to deal with thoughts, many objects, but none of them works. Yes, maybe for temporary period of time, yes, you may experience some thoughtless state of mind, empty mind, but only for short period of time. And then, fortunately, I met our teacher, Godwin. Your teacher's teacher and my teacher, Godwin. And I asked how to destroy thoughts. And he said, there is no way. No way. And that is not the way to meditate. you can try to start, you can try to destroy your thoughts. That means you are starting a fight with your own mind. And that's true. Actually, I was realizing this, that I was fighting with myself, and I was so proud about it. how 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 good meditator I am. I was fighting with thoughts, hours and hours. And then I was asking this question: who wants to fight? Who wants to fight? The ego. The ego wants to fight with anything. If I am fighting with anybody or against with anything, that means my ego. The ego says this should not happen, that should happen. So you are not allowed to this happening. You should do something. So the ego wants to fight. And in our ordinary life, we are fighting with many people and many things because of our ego. And then when we come to the meditation, then the ego says, now you have to fight with yourself. So we are, as meditators, we are so peaceful with neighbors, but not with ourselves. I have read one of very beautiful Tibetan stories from Milarepa's master's master, Tilopa. One day, a gentleman, householder, went to see Master Tilopa because he was suffering so much with the thought, with the memory. He wants to forget about something. He wants to forget that thought. It's so painful thought. He did everything to forget that incident, but he was unable. Then somebody told him, you must go and see Master Tilopa. He is the best psychologist. And he went and he asked, dear Master, please teach me how to not to think. Then Master Tilopa said, there is no way. No way. But he said, no, you should know one because you are the master of psychology. in those times. So you must know. Please be kind. I am suffering so much because of the mind. I want to not to think. How to do? He was begging, and then Master Tilopa said, then I'll give a technique. I'll tell you something and follow this technique and come back tomorrow. You are so happy. What is the technique? So you want to not to think. Yes, sir. Then don't think about monkeys. You know. So he said, I never thought about monkeys in my whole life. Don't answer now. Do it and come back tomorrow. So we can imagine, what happens to him. He was trying to not to think about monkeys, and then mind thinks about monkeys. Then he makes more and more effort to not to think about monkeys. Then mind makes some pictures about monkeys. He was so angry with monkeys, and monkeys were so angry with him. Wherever he goes, monkeys. So he couldn't go to the bathroom. Monkeys. So he returned to the temple same evening. And then Master said, why you came here? I asked you to come tomorrow. Anyhow, did you find a way to not to think? He said, yes, sir. I don't want to find a way to not to think. Please help me to free from monkeys. This is the way. We have to understand this simple psychology. If we try to stop our mind, stop our thoughts, then more and more thoughts come. Then the whole practice becomes a mess, a war, a fight. No peace at all. No peace at all. We think the peacefulness is there at the end of the practice. One day. Not one day. Here and now. Here. So, please accept thoughts. Accept. Acceptance is the practice. What we are accepting? The reality. The present reality. If the mind wanders, that is the present reality. So let us accept the present reality. Your mind wanders. If you accept it, then no conflict. No conflict at all. You are peaceful. Even though mind wanders, you are peaceful. And if you accept it, then mind cannot continue its journey. This is the thing. If you resist to it, then your resistance is the food for wandering thoughts. You are feeding to your wandering mind. You are energizing your wandering mind by resisting. But if you say, it's okay. It's okay. Learn to say okay to which is not okay. Then everything becomes okay. This is a magic. If you say it's okay, dear mind, if you want to go wander, you can wander. Then mind says, no, I don't want to wander.
So as I'm sure you may know, we are on pilgrimage and
Yeah.
we're going to be visiting some very important sites on this journey. What is the best way to take advantage of the vibrations or energies of these sacred sites?
Yeah. Well, you better to go with open mind. With free mind. I mean, not with mind which is engaged with so many ideas or thoughts. So better to relax your mind, relax your body, and then go there and just be open. And then you will start to feel something. Physically you may feel. Also you may receive some teachings in a different way, not verbal teachings, non-verbal teachings, some feelings, some insights, some guidance, because most of those places used by past great meditators. Their energies and their practices are still alive. So it's better to just go and be and open yourself and see what happens, what comes. And after that you can read about those places. Better first go with empty mind.
Thank you so much. That's really nice.
Yes.
It's very easy to say, I'm going to practice mindfulness when we're in a beautiful environment like this. We're peaceful, we have the Buddha, we have wonderful teachings. But when we go out into life, and for example, a few of us met the friendly Sri Lankan leeches last night, in those moments where it seems like the furthest thing you would ever think of doing in that moment would be to practice mindfulness. What do you have to say about mindfulness in difficult or alarming or panicking situations?
Well, yeah, thank you for this question as well. Well, yeah, what happens to us first is we are losing mindfulness. Whenever we are in those excited experiences or situations, then naturally or automatically or mechanically, we become panic. That means no mindfulness. The first thing is we drop the mindfulness. So if no mindfulness, then no control at all. Then the panic is the result, one of the results. So therefore, we better to make some effort to keep the mindfulness. This is something extraordinary or unusual situation or problematic place. Therefore, I have to be more mindful. This intention or attitude is very important. The determination. I have to be mindful. I have to be more mindful than before. So please speak to yourself. This is important. I have to be mindful. And for your example, teachers, if we are unmindful, that means we are walking, but we are in somewhere else, not in that land. Physically, we are walking on the land, on the grasses, but psychologically, we are in somewhere else. Therefore, we cannot feel what happens to the body. So when teachers come, we cannot feel because we are not here. We are absent. So then they can bite. Still we cannot feel. Then they start to suck our blood. Still no feeling. We don't know because we are in different dimension, different world. And then they go away and then bleeding. And after a while we realize how it happens. Blood, everywhere is blood. How it happens? So we become panic. So this is a result of unawareness. If we are fully aware, then from the very first moment we can feel. Whenever leech touches our toes or fingers or wherever, we can feel a strange feeling is there. And if we can recognize it from the very beginning, then we can do something. Either we can offer some blood donation. You can say, okay, you can have your breakfast. Right? Or we can just do something to get rid of it. So mindfulness is very important in our practical life more than in our monastic life. Here actually we don't need a lot of mindfulness. Everything is so quiet, so systematical. Everybody is so patient, kind. So we don't have to make a lot of effort to be mindful when we are in a retreat. But for our everyday life, it's different. We have to make effort to be mindful. And mindfulness is the key.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes.
Were you there when God went down?
Yeah, he He passed away in the Peradeniya hospital. You can see the hospital from here. And he was in the intensive care unit, ICU, yes, and I was there.
Do you have any stories about his last week or days? Did you have any conversations before he died?
Yeah, he went to a coma. Suddenly he went to a coma in one of his friend's house. And then they brought him to Kandy Hospital. And we went there to the hospital, and then he was in coma. And the doctors told us that no hope, because no response, even his eyes, no response. But suddenly he came back. He came back. And I said, dear Godwin, people are very happy because everybody gave up all the hopes, because the medical advice or the medical conclusion is that you have gone, but you came back, therefore all of your friends are happy. And I asked, are you happy too? And Godwin said, no. I asked, why? Because even his tone is more like disappointing tone. I asked, why? You may know that he did some researches on
Past life.
in reincarnation with Professor Ian Stevens, and later with Professor Harrelson. He did a lot of researches on this subject, and he said he wanted to prove that there is life after death. And he said, even though he had all those theoretical information, but no experiential insight. So he wanted to experience what happens while you are dying. And he said he couldn't do, because he didn't die and he wasn't aware. He was in coma. So therefore he said he was not happy anyhow. So after that he came to Nilambe for a couple of days, but he was in a lot of pain. Anyhow, after that again we brought him to hospital for some checkup, and suddenly he went to a second coma. And then he didn't come up. No. And one of my friends asked him when he came out from the first coma, so that my friend visited him, and then Godwin told that I didn't get visa for the next life. Didn't get the visa, so I had to come back.
How many years did you know him?
Well, I went to Nilambe in 1986. Since that I knew him as a meditation teacher. But even before, I met him in the public library, Kandy Public Library. He was the librarian.
Sure.
Yeah. And I was one of the members of the library. So he was so gentle and so quiet, so kind person, and selfless.
really like how you acknowledge the land and the earth before we went into practice. And I think it's a very powerful way to help us remember again and not be lost in terms of our own connection to everything around us. So thank you for doing that. In Alaska, where I come from, we're trying to practice more land acknowledgement before we do anything. So we always pause and have this time where we acknowledge the land that we're on, and we acknowledge the people who were there before we've been there. And that really helps, I think, again, with that remembering. So thank you very much for doing that.
You're welcome. Thank you for your appreciation and feedback. Thank you.
And yes, the world is beautiful.
Yeah, I want to say this as well, that we are using a lot of machines, and therefore we are becoming machines too. So machines, we just switch on and switch off. No? Whenever we want, we switch on, and whenever we don't want, we switch off. So this is the mentality, mechanical mentality, and we come to meditation with this mentality. We want to switch off the mind, switch on the meditation, but it doesn't work. Whenever we switch off the mind is switch on. We say, I want to meditate, and we try to switch on the meditation, but it doesn't work. So instead of this switching on and off, we just better to feel what is happening around us, what we hear, how this environment is, how we are sitting, and what the mind is doing. So slowly and gradually we can come back to our meditation. It takes some time because we are not a machine. Machine doesn't need time, they are instant. All the machines are instant. So take your own time. This is one of the beautiful ways to overcome a mechanical way of living. Give some time, be patient. Otherwise, everything is so instant. Not only instant noodles and instant coffee. Everything is our life instant. So, instant suffering, result is that. And then it goes hours and hours, days and days suffering. So, take your own time. Give time to the meditation. No hurry. If you have half an hour for sitting meditation, just take maybe 5 minutes to settle down yourself. No hurry, you can speak to yourself. No hurry. No hurry, dear mind. If you are having any thinking, any work, you can finish it. You have time to finish. So try to, I am really happy to hear this word connection. Try to make a connection with yourself. Otherwise, no meditation. Only fighting. So establish a good relationship or connection with your heart, with your mind. It takes some time, maybe weeks and weeks, but after that, things are starting to happen naturally.
Thank you also for that image of the boat. I think that's very powerful. Because I think a lot of people in our culture feel like they don't know where they're going and they don't realize that they're in charge of the ship.
Mm.
That nobody is there to guide the ship and they're lost in the ocean. And that's a very meaningful image.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. The last, the, one of the last words of the Buddha, Attadipa Baho, be your own light. Or I can say it in this way, be your own captain, pilot. Be your own therapist. Then you can go wherever you want if you are the captain. If you are the rider, if you are the pilot, of course, then you can go wherever with your life. So please take this responsibility onto your hands. This is my life. I have to be responsible. Don't hand over this responsibility onto anybody's shoulder.
One of the things that I struggle with is knowing whether the ego is trying to be the captain and how to distinguish true direction.
Yeah, that is very practical and very subtle question. How do we recognize is this ego or awareness? Well, the awareness doesn't fight for the captainship. The awareness doesn't say, I want to be the captain. But ego says, yes, I am the captain. So it wants to be the captain, but the awareness doesn't want to be the captain. But the awareness is the real captain.
Okay, now I'm really confused.
Sounds like a mutiny.
Yes. The awareness knows how to guide you. The ego doesn't know how to guide you. It just says you must do this. You must do this. You must achieve that. So the ego does pressurize you to achieve targets given by the ego. The ego is working as a projector and it is projecting targets over there, and the ego says you are here, but your happiness is over there, so you must go there. Then the ego is forcing you to go there. The awareness doesn't force you. The awareness doesn't say your happiness is there. It says it is here and now. So the awareness helps you to be here and now. The ego is saying, don't be here. Go there. You are already too late. It is stressing you. The ego. And even though after achieving hundreds of targets given by the ego, it doesn't satisfy itself. It doesn't know anything about contentment. It doesn't say, you have achieved hundreds of targets given by me. Thank you very much. Now you can relax, rest in your entire life, rest of the life. No. Say, one more target is there. Otherwise, you are nothing. You will be nothing. So, no contentment, no satisfactoriness. But with the awareness, satisfactoriness is there. Contentment is there. It helps you to live simply. The ego makes everything complicated. So there are many significant characteristic qualities of ego and awareness.
We saw the sign, one of the signs downstairs said, live simply, think deeply, which reminded me of what you just said.
Exactly. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, Mike he lives so simply. Yes. More than Sri Lanka. So what is the opposite to that sign? The sign says live simply and think deeply, no? What is the opposite?
Live complicated and think superficial.
Yeah, exactly. Live complicated.
The ego fights so much against that. Oh man, sorry.
Yeah. Ego wants to fight. That is the actually maybe vitamins for the ego. Fights. If no fights, ego feels nothing, I am nothing, nobody. If there is something to fight, to be a fighter, then ego is so happy. The ego doesn't know anything about discussions. It knows only about arguments. It doesn't ask any questions. Do you like to do this? No, ego never asks this. You should do. It doesn't care about what you like to do or what you can do. No, just say do it. But awareness is different. It discusses with you. So if you start to discuss with yourself and start to listen to yourself, then awareness, more and more, you can be more and more aware. And less ego. Yes.
And I frequently practice mindless speech as a reactive parent of two children downstairs. I'd love to hear just what you have to say about mindless speech and just thinking about taking in how you speak. How you've shared about Dharma also. There's such a gentleness to your speech. I just would love to hear some of your thoughts about mindful speech.
Well, yeah, thank you. Well, we can, as you said, we can speak unconsciously as a machine, also emotionally. So sometimes the anger is speaking, sometimes fear is speaking, sometimes greediness or desire is speaking, sometimes loneliness is speaking. Then we become just like like an amplifier. We are not there. But we think, I am speaking. It's just a thought. I am not speaking, just anger is speaking. So the anger asks us to say certain things. You must say. And we say these things, which we really don't want to say. And in that moment, when we are speaking because of the anger, for that moment, we are not there. Mother is not there. You are not there. You are absent. Only anger is there. No, the girlfriend is not there. Boyfriend is not there. Children are not there. They are all are disappeared. And after that, we come back. Then now, why we say this? We should not say, I didn't want to say this. Therefore, we have to be aware on the intention behind words. All the words are coming from intentions. So mind is formatting or preparing words before it comes to the mouth. So that's why we have to be mindful. With the mindfulness, we can see what we are going to say now. And if we can see that moment, then we can make a decision. Am I going to say this or not? So we have some time to press the enter button or delete button. Yes. If we are mindful, if we press delete button, then nobody knows what we have taught. And we can modify it. We can modify it, we can change it, we can edit. Everything is possible if you are mindful. So this is the base for mindful speech. To be aware on our intentions. And second thing, we better to be aware on our own tone while we are talking. We can feel our tone. And then we can, when we feel our tone, then we can be aware or we can recognize too loud or too fast or too emotional. So with mindfulness, we can be a listener to our own talk while we are talking. So in the middle of the talk also we can change things, modify things. The third thing is we have to see others who are listening to us. We have to see them, we have to feel them, how they feel, how they respond, how they react to our words. This is also important. Otherwise, no sensitivity. The fourth thing is, if the other person starts to talk to us, then we better to be silent, stop our talk and listen without interrupting. And while we are listening, we better to pay our full attention to the other person instead of preparing questions and answers. And after listening, we can think and ask. It's an art. And it helps you to be mindful. Really, if you try to speak mindfully, it helps you to establish your mindfulness. And your mindfulness helps you to speak mindfully. So it has mutual relationship. Thank